I trust you've been well, right?
Edgeworth? What are you doing here? This is Miles Edgeworth. We've been friends since we were kids. We faced off in court a number of times back when he was a prosecutor. Now... Hello, Prosecutor Edgeworth? Oh, you're not a prosecutor anymore, are you? He's chief prosecutor now. Pretty soon it'll be a year, right? There's nothing more than a title. Then we have more pressing issues to discuss. So what are you doing here, Edgeworth? The captain chose me as the prosecutor for the UR1 case. Well, she's good. She went all the way up to the top. I gathered all the information I could in the short time I had. Give you a rundown. You're always so well prepared, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Thanks. I appreciate this. I could really use the help. I'll start with a brief overview. The victim was the psychologist, Dr. Mattis Sykes. Yeah, Athena's mother. 7 years ago, on the 7th of October, her body was found here in this very room. I have 2 crime photos and the police notes on them for you to see. What a terrible way to die! This other photo shows the other side of the room, I see. To have the autopsy report for you. The model weapon was the victim's own katana found at the scene. As Detective Fulbright mentioned, she was into Japanese culture. The body was found by a Space Center staff member and 2 police officers. The police were called in because of the sabotage start on the Hatch 1 launch. Director Cosmos mentioned this too. A few hours after the body was discovered, a suspect was arrested. The suspect was Simon Blackwell, a young prosecutor. I hear his trial was over in a flash. Yes, a guilty verdict was declared in only 1 session. Not only did he plead guilty, but there was decisive evidence against him too. A security camera video. And a photo of the moment of the crime, as I recall. But did Prosecutor Blackwell have a motive? To this day, his motive is still unknown. He insisted he did it, but he would never say why. So that means he would still be hiding something. Right, and that's another aspect of the case that was never revealed to the public. Yeah, I know. The part about the spy, right? Wait! How on earth did you know about that? Director Cosmos told me after a bit of pressure. He told me espionage and sabotage were behind the Hat 1 miracle. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. I've always been good at keeping secrets. Well, I might as well tell you now. They really do suspect Blackwell of being a spy. They think he sabotaged the rocket and killed Dr. Sykes to spill the moonwalk. But if you can prove that the Hat 2 bombing is the work of the same spy, we can stay the execution. It's a possibility. That's why I intend to help you any way I can. Thanks, Edgeworth. Now all I have to do is comb this room for evidence. Let's do it together! It's about as close as my office. I think it's a workbench. Mr. Nick, I think this must be a kitchen. Look at this photo. See the cute little food processor? the food processor pause. That's the Hope capsule. It was scheduled to be loaded onto the Hope space probe that fateful day. The 3 people who came to collect the capsule discovered the body. The first on the scene, huh? A staff member and 2 police officers, was it? They were here to collect the capsule. Which reminds me. So they plan to use this bag to carry the capsule, is that right? Yeah, more or less. Say, why don't we stop talking about the case and have a nice cup of tea instead? Apollo and Aura Blackwell. I wonder what they're talking about. Edgeworth, did those 3 people have a bag with them for transporting the capsule? Oh, you mean this? It's custom-made, shock-resistant bag. But how did you know? Oh, I just overheard Apollo making an inquiry about it, that's all. So he's looking into this case from 7 years ago on his own, is he? This is one heck of a robot. There's something weird on it. Is this supposed to be a poem? I cut down anyone who displeases me. I make the rules, I am the law. I wield the ultimate gravel of judgment. I am Judgatron JT02? I don't believe we need to bother with that, Paul. It's not even completed yet. That's right, pause. There's no sign of it in the photo from 7 years ago either. They were building the Hope space probe here at the time. The model occurred after the space probe had been removed from the room. So it was long ago by the time someone took this picture, huh? But you can see the probe in this newspaper photo. Yes, and you can see the stolen moonwalk there too. The strange black and yellow thing on the left side of the picture. Note that the same marker is absent from the crime scene photo. Not only that, but before the launch, a very valuable piece of moonwalk was stolen. I hear there's lots of research into moonwalks and stardust from asteroids these days. They say the results could potentially have a huge impact on all civilizations. It's like we're in a new space race with every other country out there. So the person who stole it, think it was our spy? I'm sure of it. Dr. Sachs was probably killed because he was a roadblock in their plan. Unfortunately, the government thinks Particular Blackwell is the culprit. Oh, his desk is a mess. That doesn't surprise me. Oh, I just want to dive in and straighten it up. Wait, before you do. Mattis. Huh? She just glanced over at her desk. It's Mattis Sykes. Honko, can I talk to you? I really hope he's back to normal. You wish to speak to me, Mr. White? If you're going to hit me, please avoid the face area. Hey, don't put me in the same class as that woman. What was all like 7 years ago at the time of the incident? My mother died. Miss Aurora was confused. Huh? Because Dr. Sykes' mother, but Aurora Blackwell, Miss Aurora. With the loss, she exhibited a severe character-melodic imbalance. Excuse me, I have no idea what that means. Pardon me, searching for alternative expression. She would spend the night crying and then take out her feelings on those around her. After Prosecutor Blackwell was found guilty, she repeatedly demanded a retrial as well. That is correct, but without new evidence, her requests were ignored. And then little by little, Miss Orr began to change. She started to hate it when I caught her Mama Aurora. Before long, she started hating the court system and abusing Clonco, huh? murder will destroy so many lives. Right. Take a look at this paper on Dr. Sykes and Miss Blackwell's research. Honko. They're the robots of hearts that Dr. Sykes created. The heartbeat detection system lets them determine when a human is present. In addition, they can recognize people by their ID tag or facial features. They can interpret people's emotions by analyzing their tone of voice. That's amazing! Hey, I don't know, Edgeworth. They might even be more human than you. What's that supposed to mean? It sounds like these robots can do what Athena does. Emergency ladder. This must be the one they used during the evacuation. The explosion disabled the elevators, so I lowered the emergency ladder like the detective leading the investigation told me to. As Miss Blackwell was climbing down the side of the building, she saw the culprit inside. I wonder which would have been scarier. That or looking down. It looks like an operating table. It's in the photo too. Yes, it was here there as well, with the victim's body lying on it. There's a button here. Oh, I know. I'll try pushing it. Pause. Don't touch. Oopsies. Hey, it's moving. It appears to be a robot assembly device. Disassemble anything in a flash. Push the dismantle button. That sounds pretty neat. Can I push it, Mr. Nick? Please don't push any more buttons, pause. Oh, I guess that's about it for this room. So what do you think, White? Any ideas? There's still a lot of gaps in the evidence, but I'll pull it off somehow, after all. You asked me to prove Blackwell's innocence, right, Edgeworth? What? He did? Yep, he called it a special request. He reached out to me while I was so despaired. So, that was what sparked you to get your Tony's badge back? Yep, the back quill case. Right, I have a special request. I want you to clear one of my subordinates of suspicion. Hey, I'm not even a lawyer anymore, remember? Haven't been one for a long time. That 8-year misunderstanding has been cleared up, and you must be eager to return. I'm sure you're familiar with the other case that ushered in the dark age of the law. Very soon, a convict will stand as a prosecutor in court. I want you to keep an eye on him. Just when I'm beginning to actually like the job I have now. White, I'm sorry I dragged you into this. Because of the Esperance aspect, I wasn't free to give you all the details. Hey, no need to apologize. Like I said on the phone the other day. I know that the type of criminals you're after now aren't small fries anymore. It looks like your target finally decided to make a move. Yeah, so this very reason I returned. Time to bring it to an end. I'm going to end the dark age of the law. That's what this is all about. The dark age of the law? It still comes up a lot these days on TV and in the papers. And I hear there are more false charges and fabrication of evidence than ever. When I became chief prosecutor, the court system had already lost the people's trust. It all began 8 years ago. A lawyer was caught fabricating evidence. A year after that, a prosecutor was found guilty of murder. Wait, do you mean? That's right. He's talking about my case and Prosecutor Blackwell's. It was a downward spiral after that. An absolute nightmare. After those two cases, the mass media launched an all-out attack on the courts. Public opinion was tainted. Before long, the legal world itself was sucked into it. Shame. Once suspicion formed, it's very hard to shake. Lawyers and prosecutors were supposed to trust each other, pursue the truth together. It's so sad when people begin to cast doubt. They start lying to themselves and each other. Yes, and do absolutely anything to win. Now where winning is valued far more than the truth. I'm sure it's caused our new chief prosecutors to lose many a night's rest. It just mirrored that his brow get even more furrowed than the last time I saw him. The hostage taker's disdain for the court is a perfect example of the times. So is. Do you have any idea who the hostage taker might be? Well, somebody who mistrusts the court system and who can manipulate robots. It can really only be Aurora Blackwell. Who else but her would want a retrial of that case from 7 years ago so badly? Simon Blackwell's older sister and the owner of this room. I agree with your conclusion. Perhaps he intended to force Miss Sykes to confess. Actually, I think she had a much more horrific plan in mind for Athena. The important thing is that for you to solve, you all won and prove Blackwell's innocence. And then maybe she'll release the hostages. I'm counting on you, White, to set that prosecutor and those hostages free. I'll be counting on you in court to help me too. Of course, I'll do everything I can to help uncover the truth. As this is an official trial, I'm more at liberty to be a little unorthodox. Mr. White, are you finished with your investigation? Yeah. I'd like you to tell the hostage taker something for me. I have to go to the detention center. I can't start the trial until I talk to Athena. She's already given her consent. I'll accompany you to the detention center. I'm still being watched, huh? See you in court, Edgeworth. Even if it will be an undocumented trial. It'd be good to face you in court again. She was right by my side only a few short hours ago. But I feel like I haven't seen her in ages. Oh, Mr. White! And Polly, too! I knew you would come. After all, the first step is the interview with the defendant. Because you're my best friend. Not best friend. And I was worried about you. Thanks, boss. I'm not the only one who's worried either. Really? Who else? I saw Miss Woods today. She was so beside herself she came to find me. She told me you used to live in the Cosmos Space Center. No wonder you knew so much about the place. Oh. So you know, huh? I'm sorry I didn't tell you. That's alright. But There are some other things I'd like to ask you. So, you can ask me anything. I promise I won't keep any more secrets from you. Tell me about the day Clay was murdered. I was actually at the Space Center that day. In the Space Museum. Where the culprit fled to? That's not good. I never could fully deal with what happened 7 years ago. But when I saw the center again during the news coverage of the Hat 2 launch, I thought maybe if I went there, things would be different this time. That must have taken a lot of courage to face your past like that. So I went to the Space Museum the evening before the explosions. This was before the launch pads had been switched. There was a sign that said closed for repairs, and they weren't letting anybody in. Yeah, the director couldn't very well switch the pads if there were people in there. But I snuck in anyway. Did you want to see that Hat 1 group photo? Do you want to feel mother in it? I did. What I really wanted to see was her jacket. That jacket on display. That was Dr. Sykes. But I should have known it wouldn't be easy to get over such a traumatic experience. The second I saw that jacket, it all came rushing back to me. Everything around me went hazy and I couldn't see. I tried to get out of there somehow, but I guess I passed out. When I came to, I was in the passes behind the rocket. I was in the shadows where people couldn't really see me. Maybe you got confused and went the wrong way when you were trying to leave. How long do you think you were unconscious, Athena? I was out until about noon of the next day. I didn't even know about the explosions. When I woke up, nobody was around, so I just went out into the boarding lounge too. My mind must have still been fuzzy because my memory is vague after that. I don't remember how I got home. No memory, huh? This is gonna be tough. Which means, what if I'm the one who killed Clay? I think that's enough of that, Athena. Let's talk about something else. So during the entire incident, she was unconscious in the Space Museum. Of course, I believe her. But will anybody else? What kind of research was Dr. Sykes, your mother, doing? It seems I could tell people's emotions by their tone of voice. My special ability. Someday when people travel to distant planets, their companions will be robots. So she said they had to be able to understand how their human companions felt. Wow! Well, once I can understand people? It was just a convenient subject for her research. All she ever did was walk, and she never paid any attention to me. Oh, sorry about that. Turning up all that old stuff. No need to apologize. I guess her home life was complicated. Oh, by the way, Miss Wood said something about you always wearing headphones. She always wore these big, heavy-looking headphones. She said her mother made them for her as part of her research. I had to wear them every time I went out. Oh, I hated them so much, but she wouldn't listen. What were they for? Oh, she gave me some kind of explanation. But I don't remember it now. It was too difficult for a little kid to understand. Okay, let me say this one thing. I don't think your mother only thought of you as some handy subject for her research. I once believed that. about the only thing my mother left me with are widgets and this earring. Ooh, it's beautiful. It's made of a piece of real moonwalks he had for research. Maybe she did love me in her own way. I'm sure of it. I'm really sure she did. Because that's what I want to believe too. Gotta ask her a little more about her mother's research. I should show her that paper I found in the robotics lab. Oh, the Ponko series. You must have gone to the robotics lab. You seem to really love Ponko and Clonko. Yeah, my mother made them and I grew up around them, you know? Oh, there's one of those cute little robots in this photo too. See Ponko's bandages? I put those on her. She just run them around and around. Pretty bad job, huh? But really put all my all into it. I heard he left the sun in those days, so I didn't have any human friends besides Junie. I didn't really understand the difference between robots and people back then. I thought that if a robot broke, bandaging it would help it get better. What a weirdo I was. Looks like there's something written on the bandages. Yeah, I wrote stuff like, "Get well soon, Ponko." But in the end, my mom just put her on the operating table and fixed her in a flash. Oh, that must be the thing I made move in the robotics lab. I was so impressed by what my mom did. I even asked her if she would put me on the table and fix me if I ever got hurt. It looked just like magic to me what she could do. A little girl who grew up around robots. She seems to have some good memories of it. On a different subject, did you hear about the person holding up the Space Center? Yes, a little. And this person had even taken hostages? I guess I better spare her the news about Trilogy. Well, after some negotiating, we agreed to do a retrial of the case from 7 years ago. What? You're kidding me? So that means Prosecutor Blackwell might... Yep. I know he's innocent. I just have to prove it. So wait. Did you know him back then? Yes, he used to come visit my mom a lot. He studied psychology under her and would sometimes ask for advice on his legal cases. He was very kind and considerate, and straight as an arrow. Unlike now, where he's more twisted than a basket of snakes. That's why I took the witness stand during his trial 7 years ago. Please, you have to listen to me. He didn't kill her. His heart is screaming that he didn't kill her. I was a fool. How could anyone else know what I was talking about? She heard the voice of his heart. You were only 11 then, right? You were very brave just to give testimony. Was his right. You did the very best you could at the time. But nothing I said did any good. I was a shaking and scared little girl, small and ineffectual. Even after I went to live with my relatives in Europe, I stayed closed up in my shell. But you're different now. You're always so bright and cheerful. Thanks. That's because one day I came to realize that I had to fight. I couldn't give up. exercised hard and I studied hard. I wanted to become the strongest lawyer I could be. I wanted to save Simon, but I had no idea how. Then I met Mr. White, and thanks to him, I realized that if I became a lawyer, I could prove that Simon was innocent. I also realized that psychology could help me do this. I mean, psychology was my mother's specialty. When I studied it, I felt like she was there with me, supporting me. It doesn't seem like Athena knows. Execute Blackwell is due to be executed tomorrow. I wanted to prove Simon's innocence personally. I wanted to do it so bad. Even now, I want to fly out of here and go save him. To think of it, she said something like that during the Themis Legal Academy trial. She mentioned there was somebody she wanted to save. She must have been talking about Prosecutor Blackwell. I heard some prison guards say that you had an interview with Simon. How was he? What did he say? No, I can't tell her. How can I lie to Athena? He was doing well. He was happy about the possibility of being proven innocent. He was? I wonder if he smiled like he used to back then. If I can't prove Prosecutor Blackwell's innocence in this trial, I don't think Athena will ever forgive me. I just have to free him. Failure is not an option here. I thought you might be here, Mr. Lawyer. We're in trouble. We are? What is it? I couldn't find a single open courtroom. They're all in session. Oh no! But this is an emergency! It's very difficult to interrupt the trial once it's underway. My phone. It's from Trucy. I told you I'd give you 1 hour. I guess it's time to pick one of the hostages. No, wait. We still have a little more time. Besides, all of the combs are being used right now. Make all the excuses you want, but you won't get any more time. Your daughter is first. The poor thing is a little too young to die, don't you think? No, don't you dare hurt her. There has to be something I can do. Justice is about to befall us. No, this can't be happening. Maya, help us. Wait a minute. Maya? I read somewhere that you were holding a trial in the middle of an exploding courtroom. That must have really been something. The weirdest part for the course with you. Courtroom. You up? That's it. There is a courtroom we can use after all. Okay. Time's up. Too bad. Any last words you'd like to say to her?
Hold it!
Please don't add to the crimes you've already committed. So, you know who I am, do you? It wasn't like I was trying to keep it a secret anyway. We're ready to start the trial. We can hold it in the ruins of courtroom number 4. The one blown up by the bomber. Oh, what a wonderful idea, Mr. Nick. I never would have thought of that. An astonishing trial in an astonishing location. I guess it's only benefiting. I'll go get the place ready right away. I didn't exactly pick the place for its astonishing factor. How about it? Are you ready to have your brother's innocence proven? My brother. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't forget to mention, it's not Simon you'll be defending. What? Not Prosecutor Blackwell. I I indict Athena Sykes on the charge of murdering her own mother. You'll be defending the little princess there, the one behind the glass. What? See you in the mountain of rubble you choosing for our courtroom, Mr. White. What is he talking about? Athena? Of course. Why didn't it ever occur to me before? If Prosecute Blackpool is innocent, somebody else had to have been the true culprit. Did I kill my own mother? No. No! No way. It can't be true. Mr. Nick, what's the matter? I see 5 black cyclocks. I've seen these kinds of locks before. Dark, black locks protecting a secret hidden deep inside a person's heart. And there's no way to remove them.